soy wax, beeswax, and all those that are actually natural, they are alive. So it seems a bit weird, right? If I mix the wax with water when everything is finished and then you burn it, you light it, it will be a bit dangerous if there's water in the wax.
Looks so delicious.
I know everybody tell me the same thing, you know. They say it looks like food, you know.
Yeah.
The bottom of this cup is supposed to touch at least a little bit the water here. Now we wait for it to boil. It has to be within 75 and 85 degrees. It cannot go higher. If it goes to 90, it's still okay, but if it goes beyond 90, the wax will not be as good. It's kind of considered spoiled, so always have to be careful. It has to stay within these temperatures, and then after, when you pour it into the pot, it also has to be at a certain temperature. It's the typical way to do it, the same way you melt chocolate. You put water in a pot and then you put your chocolate on top. You actually don't need to stir. You just need to wait and everything will just, melt on its own and it's becoming after completely liquid, and then you can use it.
So you look so natural in front of camera is because you have been doing this in front, like someone is filming you.
Actually, it's funny that you say that because just yesterday, my boyfriend told me apparently I'm appearing on a website that I didn't know about, and it was a communication agency that filmed me and they did an interview asking me about my business. So they interviewed me about my project. It was still the tourism project. They asked me questions and I answer, and it was like, you pick a question in a box and so you have to answer things. Among all the interviews, they chose mine to put in their advertisement, and I'm on the main video of their website. He told me, he said, actually you're very natural in front of the camera. You could actually easily do presentation, and since I've been presenting Alsace and doing, the tourism part, and now presenting my candles every day to people, everything, I'm quite smooth to just be presenting things to people. So the camera, it took me a while at the beginning. I was not very at ease to be filmed and to show myself, but slowly I got over this kind of fear, and now I'm just a bit more natural like this, So now we just need to wait for the wax to go down to 70-degree temperature, and then we can pour them into the pots. Not everybody knows that, but natural wax, soy wax, beeswax, and all those that are actually natural, they are alive. So it seems a bit weird, right? But since they're alive, they have a life of their own, so they'll move according to the temperature, they will move according to where they're placed. When they're burned, not burned, they can change color, they can just retract, and they can sweat. So all those things have to be taken into account for you to have a very nice candle at the end. That it's good looking. So at the end, the best thing with these wax is to not place them into a very hot place in a room, because if you put them especially to the sun or in a very hot room, then they will start sweating and it won't look that nice. It's not an issue when you burn them, but it's just a visual thing. Now I'm actually cleaning quickly the inside of the pot so that when I pour the wax inside, it won't get dust in it or crumbs or whichever. To do it quite quickly and so it won't leave any residue, I usually use rubbing alcohol. All we have here are alcohol pads, but that will do. And so I just do a quick clean inside. Interesting to have a room that is clean also before you do your candle, so you cannot have like too much dust flying around or preparing to clean after. It's better to clean your room before, especially the table and everything, because if there's too much dust flying around, then it can just drop even when you're making the candles and everything. So it's always good to have a clean space. So I'm removing the extra wax that I poured inside for the specific grams that I'm putting per pot. So actually this process that I'm doing has to be quite quick because the wax that I'm pouring has to stay about at the same temperature. So at the end, if I wait too long, the last pots will have the wax that is poured at a temperature that is too cold, and the way it will harden will look really, really terrible on the top. It's important to hydrate also. This is what will be at the bottom of the pot to maintain the wick. So I'm preparing them. Okay, and now we wait for it to harden and then we can do the flowers.